So an elderly man told me I was in my prime when he asked me when I was age. Basically 2 years ago, I was, a grocery pickup person. And obviously we didn't have any orders, so whenever that happened, we just kind of wandered the store. Sometimes we stock or whatever. So yeah, I guess I was stocking that day or whatever. The customer just needed help looking for something. We didn't have it, but I ended up finding some for him. So when I gave it to him, he was very impressed, I guess, that I went quote unquote above and beyond to help the customer get the item he wanted. So then first he asked me, do you go to church? I was like, yes sir, I do. I went today and everything, and I told him all that stuff, and he was but then he basically telling me how good of a job young people, you basically just being young and quote unquote wise and stuff like that, which is good. I'm glad I was able to serve him well and all that stuff, and not as just a customer, I mean as a worker, just as as a courtesy thing to do. Yeah, so because that's the right thing to do. But anyway, so then eventually it came on to the time when he asked me how old I am. I was like, 21, sir. He's like, oh, you in your prime. I was like, oh, okay. Basically, just thanking him and all that stuff. But in my mind, I was saying something different. I was a little confused. Like, in my head, I was like, not really, sir. I'm not in my prime. My prime is in my 40s. 30s/40s. And or at least late mid 30s/40s. I mean, I'm pretty sure the prime he was talking about was a prime of my strength, I would assume, of opportunity and not other stuff. He always thinking something else. Yeah, I had to pass a guy. I'm pretty sure we're talking about as far as my strength, opportunity, and all that other stuff, which he may be correct. But me, obviously, I'm thinking something else. Like, I'm thinking is when he say I'm in my prime, I'm thinking it's like being a man. Which is a complete no. I'm not in my prime. As a young man, as men, our prime is not in our 20s and in our youth. Our prime is in our late 30s to 40s. When I say by that, I mean firstly, we look more manlier. We don't take anyone's crap from anybody, for the most part. We know what we're doing. We're knowledge. We have wisdom and everything. We have things figured out. We know how to make money. We just know how to do stuff. That's it. And then on top of that, I'm more attractive in my 40s. So yeah, don't get me wrong. I don't know what in the world, what context he meant by that. I probably should have asked him, but he was an elder, and the good thing we had going on, I just wasn't gonna ruin that interaction. But I'm obviously thinking, relationship-wise. If he meant it by relationship-wise, which I highly doubt, but if he did, he clearly does not know what in the world of young people is. Young men in today's age in 2023. At the time it's 2021, but he does not know. From the prime part, I think I could get what he's saying, like, oh, you just turned like a full adult at 21. If that's what he meant by that, okay, cool then. But if he was talking about in a relationship way, now he's sadly mistaken. Probably back in his day, he had to be up in his 60s, I believe. Maybe 70s. And I could say, biblically speaking, I am in my prime. Biblically speaking, because, well, maybe not. I don't even know. I don't know how that works. This just proves that I gotta read my Bible. I haven't opened my Bible regularly since 2020. Anyways, biblically speaking, I think a man is in his prime. Like I said, the dude, he goes to church clearly, and I go to church as well. I'm assuming he meant it biblically speaking, because a man in his youth, I really don't know. I don't think so, because a young man, what he's supposed to do, biblically speaking, is be, go out there and find a wife. I guess. I don't know. I just need to read my Bible more, that's all. But from the image I'm seeing, what I've seen in the house, the men, the sons of the family, they work with the father. And I guess the fathers look for them a wife? I think so. I think the fathers did look for a wife for the sons. Arranged marriage. But obviously that ain't happening these days. If I wanted... Man, I don't know. Maybe, I feel like back in the day, men were in their primes, in a sense. Because men back in the day, specifically like in the 50s or something like that, 60s, 70s, maybe even 80s, and maybe even 90s. I'm gonna say 80s to max. That was the time. Now I don't know about the 80s, but the point being is, back in the day, I'm gonna say in the 60s, that was the time a man just have a job and a female wants him. That's it. Have a job and the female wants him. That's it. That's all I can say. A man can just appear and a female wants him, for the most part. But obviously, I'm not gonna pretend like the black pill and red pill stuff didn't exist then. I'm pretty sure it existed in the 60s. It was just way less a thing. I'm not talking about the community itself, but I'm just saying more men were married younger and actually having relationships younger, versus now that it's like it's on a decline. I was hoping I'd be married. Well, I'm not gonna lie. When I was a kid, I said I want to be married by 30, something like that. But I'm not gonna lie, if I remember correctly. But obviously, I'm not married, because I hoped I'd be married by now, honestly. But obviously, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not fully sure what that elderly man meant by that. I'm assuming he meant by, strength, job opportunities, all that stuff. But even if I wanted to entertain that, I feel like that's what he meant. But even if I wanted to entertain that as far as job opportunities, I'm sorry, I don't really know. I don't really know about that, sir. I know this is back in 2021, but I think about that occasionally. Every time I hear prime, I'm going to think about women in their prime. Because women, their prime is in their 20s. Actually, when they're fresh out of high school, 18 years old, they're in their prime, beauty prime. And even value prime. Because, people don't care about a woman's money. I sure don't, for the most part. I just want her to be a submissive wife. That's it. Submissive wife. That's it. Biblically speaking. Proverbs 31 wife. That's all I want. I don't care about her money and all that stuff. All that stuff, this ambition and all this other masculine-like junk, I'm not attracted to that. I want a feminine, the Proverbs 31 woman. That's what I want. As far as me, like, I'm deviating from my original thing, but going by what he said, assuming he meant like job opportunities and physical strength, I'll give him that. But job opportunities, I don't know. Because when I was 21, I was over here still trying to look for new work. I couldn't find no work. I just got rehired at this grocery store. I couldn't find no other jobs. And finding work is always hard. Back in his day, it's probably easier. But now, all this corporate America, nuh-uh. And even if I did have a job, there ain't no way no woman gonna marry me. At least a woman in my age gonna marry me this way. Elderlies, they just have no idea how we're growing up in life. They may see us and they may think we're lazy for the most part, but at the same time, they just do not understand. Don't get me wrong, I have been looking for work. Maybe not recently, but you get the point I'm saying. When certain things are on the line, that's when I definitely start looking for work. And I want to live out. I'm thinking this is what he truly meant by that. Job opportunities. I'm at my highest. My bones and structure and stuff like that is fully working and all that stuff. And maybe my sex drive is up the roof in my 20s, which I feel like it is. But I'm not sitting there doing anything about it, at least for the most part. There ain't no way I'm going to be attracting women in my 20s. I decided to keep my facial hair specifically, not specifically for attracting women, but just to make me look a little older. Not to attract women, just to make me look a little older. That's it. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. I'm not sure what the elderly man meant by that. I feel like he meant just specifically job opportunity and my strength and my youthful body and all the energy I have. I think that's what he mainly meant by it. But if he meant by relationship-wise and sex and marriage, no, that's out the window. He have no idea. Don't get me wrong, young people are completely screwed up these days. My generation is really screwed up, but I can genuinely assure there are some outliers like myself and some of my childhood family members. We all are the outliers of my generation that want to do right. At least what I think, because apparently one of them was like, I want to go buck wild. That's not a good sign. Yeah. So yeah, me, I know it's for sure me, I want to do everything right as God designed it. But doing that is super hard. It's hard even then, but it's even harder now considering the modern society. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you know. I don't like hearing that, honestly, that you are in your prime, because I totally disagree. I think of it as the same way as women, honestly, because a woman's prime in her 20s. A man's prime is not in his 20s. Like, I think of prime as the time period in which you are most wanted one way or another. The most opportunity you have. I'm just being honest, wanted. I'm not wanted in my 20s. Maybe my strength is wanted, at least somewhat. I don't know, because all the jobs I've been looking for, I've been turned down by so many times. And I've received no calls, nothing from the jobs I've already applied for. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I'm sorry, elderly man. Thank you so much. Especially considering we're both Christians and everything. Elderly Christian and youth, young guy Christian. But spoiler, I'm not going to ever be no preacher or youth pastor in there serving leadership roles for the most part. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you, elderly man. God bless you, that's for sure. Yep. That's all I have to say. The only problem I have is in my strength and energy. That's it. And choosing what I want to do in life. That's it. Which I already know what to do. I just got to find a way to make that. Pray for me out. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.